Thank you. I'd like to call this meeting to order. All 5 selectmen are here. This meeting is to go over the final warrant to send out for the town meeting. And so I guess we'll start right at the beginning. Obviously the greetings that's the way it has to be worded. Articles 1 and 2 are to choose the moderator and to elect the municipal officers. Those have to be in that order. Article 3 is to adopt the main moderator's manual rule of procedure. And then we get into the money articles. First one is to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and or appropriate for administration expenses. The budget committee agreed with the selectmen's recommendation of $327,893, transferring $80,000 from designated funds, $80,484 from designated funds, $2,200 from telecommunications, $2,618 from building permits, $1,750 from electrical permits, $3,169 from plumbing permits, $32,327 from delinquent tax interest, $14,223 from vehicle registrations, $16,001 from tax exempt reimbursement, $6,349 from town clerk fees, $1,847 from miscellaneous revenues, and that would leave us raising $247,409. And I will accept a motion on it.
The other question I had was about the telecommunications, the 22. Yeah. That was what the budget committee...
That's what the budget committee recommended, and so we can put a different... we can leave that out if we want, so that the telecommunications suggested... the budget committee suggested putting telecommunications money in that for the printing of the town report.
Do we have that money available from the franchise agreement?
Yes, there is still... There was a decent gap between what was spent last year and what came in, several $1,000s, and appears to be going to be the same this year.
And we can only apply that money to certain. We're limited in what we can apply that to, correct?
Not really. We can choose. There's no stipulation on it. It's typically been for telecommunications type things, and
right.
This is.
But it can't go into like just the general undesignated funds.
It could if we decided that we wanted to use it for. I mean, it goes into a designated fund, but we can use those designated funds for whatever we want. As far as I don't believe there's any stipulation on what those funds are used. It's basically historical how we've used it. So I'll entertain a motion on that article.
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Article 5, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and or appropriate for town hall capital projects. Currently we have recommended $5,000, transferring that $5,000 from the designated fund balance to the municipal building account. We should have in there the budget committee makes no recommendations due to lack of information is I think the way they wanted it worded, something like that.
Right, and I have difficulty with that because we have denied other committees requests for funds, historical committee in the past, in the absence of any particular plan or and estimates and that kind of thing. And we have no plan. We have, people have eyeballed it and said, oh yeah, maybe this, maybe that. And so I think that we ought to hold all the departments to the same standard, and that in order to allocate funds for improvements, there has to be a plan.
I agree. But I wonder if we might be able to have the plan by town meeting, and my thought was that we put in an amount, from what the discussion, it seemed like 5,000 was low, but we put an amount that would be, would most likely do it. And if we can have a plan, estimates, some sort of estimates and stuff before town meeting, then we go ahead with it. If not, we vote, I would put in the motion on the town floor that we go for $0. I think it sounds like that it is becoming very frustrating for the office to deal with it. And so I think I agree with you that we should definitely, this was kind of a last minute thing, but if we can have
So
something
it
by town
protects us,
meeting.
but if we don't have a formal plan, then we could
I could,
zero it out on the
Yes.
floor.
yes,
And there was some discussion, I thought, about leaving it open, till we got those estimates and then coming up with a number.
Can't we have, we're up against.
oh,
that
actually,
deadline.
we can. We can have an article in there to see what sum of money the town will vote and raise to appropriate for town hall capital projects, and have no recommendations. And so, and then we would
And
both,
there would be an
discussion right there on the
explanation
floor.
where you would say, this is what we'd like to do, this is the estimate that we've gotten, this is where we've gotten it, and then the town could choose to.
Right.
and I would, actually, I like that idea. And the budget committees was was no recommendation for lack of information. And I think,
Same for you guys.
Yeah.
I think we kind of discussed that with them too, and they,
due to current lack of information, yeah, so
they
I
kind
think,
of go along with the same thing.
yeah, and then we can, if we have something, great. If we don't, then we can just do $0, and hopefully it would be a very quick article. I think I like that idea.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I think we'll have something.
So you need a motion on that one too?
yes, please.
I would move to present Article 5 as written with no recommendation.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. Article 6, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and/or appropriate for animal control. Both the budget committee and selectmen recommend $14,172, transferring $501 from designated fund balance, and that is the animal control receipts, and raising $13,671.
I move that we accept Article 6 as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries.
I'm not trying to make this take longer, but will we be explaining at town meeting that we are trying to
Yes,
find
I
it?
intend to plan on, yeah, so the way I typically will address each of these articles is when we usually give the selectmen and budget committee a chance to explain. Any article that needs some explanation or whatever, I will do it. There are sometimes some that you don't need it, and you just drag it out if you do.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Article 7, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and/or appropriate for assessing. The Selectmen and Budget Committee both recommend $19,950.
I move we accept Article 7 as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. Article 8, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for cemeteries. The Selectmen and Budget Committee recommend $4,070.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and/or appropriate for conservation. This is Article 9. The Selectmen and Budget Committee both recommend $2,150, transferring $2,150 from the Recreation Fund.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Article 10, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and/or appropriate for social and community service agencies. Selectmen and Budget Committee both recommend $3,000, raising $3,000. The $3,000 would go $500 to Community Concepts, $500 to Western Maine Transportation, $500 to LACO, $500 to Androscoggin Home Health, $500 to Seniors Plus, and $500 to Life Flight.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Did you all see the emails, or the email that we got this afternoon? About,
Yes,
It's
well,
kind of late for that, would you think, or?
well,
He wasn't asking for money, he just wants to.
yes, he was asking
He
more.
wanted,
Oh,
yeah, he wanted
5,000.
5,000 this year,
And, yeah,
2,500 going forward.
and unfortunately, he had, well, let's wait until we get down to that
Sure,
article.
sure.
Article 11, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and/or appropriate for the Eureka Community Center. The Selectmen and Budget Committee recommend $4,854, transferring $1,915 from designated fund balance, that's from the Eureka rentals, and raising $2,939.
Moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Article 12, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and/or appropriate for Eureka Community Center capital projects. The selectmen have recommended $3,000, transferring $3,000 from designated fund balance, Eureka fundraising. The Budget Committee recommends $1,500, transferring $1,500 from designated fund balance, Eureka fundraising.
Second.
All right, I do have some discussion on this. There was a decent amount of discussion at the Budget Committee meeting, and it really looks like the stove is a project for this year, and it, for all intents and purposes, it looks as if the stove should be able to be done for $1,500. Why not?
You have to get, I talked to Paul about this. He said besides the price for the stove, you have to get like all the fittings and the attachments and all that kind of stuff. He says it's very expensive. I don't know exactly.
It's over half the cost of the stove to get, because the stove was $1,000 to $1,100 was one of the, and so on. I was hoping so.
I was gonna call Pearl and ask her to get quotes together for the town meeting so that she could present what they really wanted, but, you know.
For the amount that the Eureka Center is actually used, do they need a commercial stove? I mean, nobody,
That was my question. That's why, I mean,
I would think that,
I was surprised by that with the fire department too, and their hood and everything, that they had a commercial kitchen in the fire department.
well, I think they may not use it as much now, but I think ongoing it's gonna be used more, and obviously a commercial stove will tend to last a lot longer. I mean, I really don't have an issue with a commercial stove. I mean, I know from what we've done in the lodge, commercial stuff does pan out a lot better.
and,
Last.
And I do believe
Well-
what Milt was saying, if that's not a,
and
if it's brand new, it's only 2 or 3 years old,
And I-
let's see if we can get it fixed.
I think we need, it's 9 years old, or
9 years
not
old.
10. Oh, 2004?
2004.
Two-
Yeah, so
okay.
it's 11 years old.
So it's 11 years old. I mean, it's a commercial range should, that was used as little as that should last longer than
Yeah.
that. But I think if somebody can get in there, if somebody who understands the whole repair world and so on gets in and starts asking people, I think we could find somebody that could get in there and give us an estimate. And if not, then we'd have to fall back on a new stove.
I think 15. I think
Wasn't Milt
15.
gonna do that?
Well,
He wasn't
he was asked. I didn't think his response was super committed.
No.
I agree with the 15. I mean,
And I would go as much as 2,000 to make sure there was enough in there for installation, but that gives over 50% of the cost of the stove towards installation. If installation costs that much, it's pretty bad.
I agree.
So are we changing our
Um,
recommendation?
One thing we want to remember is we're not raising any of this money. I understand
Yes,
we've
it's-
raised
Right,
it,
right.
and we've
Right.
already paid for it, but we are just transferring it, so
Yeah, and anything that's not
Right,
used
the
will
Eureka-
come back.
we'll come back. So.
Right, the Eureka
Right.
Center has raised all this money.
And I mean, if they used 1,500 of the 3,000 that we originally were recommended, and they was looking for the floor situation, and it comes away over that, they obviously ain't gonna do it this year. So I mean, I
I
wouldn't
just
wanna
would like
cut
to
short.
see them do something. Every year they put a capital project in and we approve it and it goes nowhere, and then
Well, no, 2 years ago they actually did, because that was when they were did
They finally bought the tables and
the
chairs.
tables and the chairs, yes. Actually, the tables we had in here during the budget meetings were from there.
But we voted on flooring twice and nothing, it's still, they still
Yeah, I
haven't
don't
done it.
think they quite understood that process, so I think we're gonna, it sounds like the communication is getting a little better. Maybe they're gonna understand the process of that, so. Obviously, if they use $1,500, they ain't gonna get flooring in there $1,500.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just remember that we don't want to cut short, and it's not a raise, it's a transfer, so.
Right now, the motion on the floor is to recommend 3,000. Any more discussion on that motion? All in favor of recommending $3,000, raise your hand. Opposed? Motion fails. I'll take another.
So, I mean, that's another one though, where they could, present their case more on the floor, and
And
if they have a plan and they can use the money, then
they can
Make a
they can
case.
ask them to
Oh,
vote, they could put their own motion on the floor.
Right.
Good
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
I move that we recommend that we transfer $2,000 from the designated fund balance of Eureka fundraising
second.
for
Yeah, all right.
capital projects.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Article 12, sorry, that was Article 12. Article 13, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and or appropriate for Durham Fire and Rescue operating budget. The Budget Committee and the Selectmen recommend $292,860, and all of that would be raised.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Article 14, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and or appropriate for Fire and Rescue Capital Improvement Account. Previously, the Selectmen have recommended $50,000. The Budget Committee recommends $40,000. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I was going to comment that I don't know, I would not be adverse to joining the budget committee in their recommendation for 40
I would say that, because,
and making a joint recommendation for the 40.
yeah, just because they got the pavement in there, and I still have a big thing to chew off on them putting pavement down on that fire department when our roads in so poor condition. So I would say, yeah, 40 grand, I would go with the recommendation of the budget committee.
Any other discussion on the motion to raise $50,000?
Well, part of that discussion was because of the capital and the payment on the fire truck, right?
There's both. There's the we're still paying on the station. We're paying on the ladder, and they moved the new fire truck from next year to the year after, but pulled in paving of the parking lot, which had been spread out over 2 years, 2017 and 18, pulled it into 1 year in 2016 for $40,000. So there was some shuffling around that alleviated next year $20,000 off next year's by shifting things around.
And then that would also include, I know that there was some discussion about painting and maintenance at the fire department.
That's in a different.
Yeah.
In a different-
That's actually in the budget.
Now, I thought part of this was a matter of whether we were gonna pay a $33,000 payment or a $40,000 payment as well.
And that's in here. We decided on the 33,000. That's Article 17.
Okay.
The reason we decided on 17 to go with the lower number is we couldn't guarantee that the town would go with the higher number on 14. So we felt it was best to stay with the lower number on 17. So the motion on the floor is for the selectmen to recommend 50,000 on this line. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Article 15, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and or appropriate for the fire rescue capital improvement projects. The Selectmen and Budget Committee recommend $3,000. This was done on a shotgun vote, kind of vote on last Thursday night. And this would be for the hood and for the cameras. That evening, the selectmen present decided that we would not include the painting as a capital project.
I see.
And I have a question about that. There is no motion pending, correct?
Yes, I don't believe there is actually, no.
When we had the gazebo painted last year, Janet was able to have a work crew come down from the county jail. Is that same option available? Would that be available for painting of a municipal building like the fire station? Could we?
I wouldn't know why not. And the question is if they're already busy. It took Janet almost 2 years to get them
Yeah,
here.
I mean, I don't know. I saw the
probably had
painting
connections,
quote that
too.
was in there for
She
$6,000, and if we could get it done for
I mean,
the cost of the paint.
I
the
don't,
work,
yeah.
That was just,
Maybe
I
you
didn't know
have
if that was
connections as
something we
well.
could even explore.
No.
No, but I have connections with Janet, so who knows?
Well, there you
I'm
go.
not sure how much, yeah, and I'm not
I
sure
don't
how
know.
much of it was for labor and how much of it was for the paint. I really
Yeah,
don't know how much paint
I have no idea. I
costs.
just asked if it was even something that was even within the realm of consideration.
I would think it could be, and it would be a matter of somebody asking the lady in charge of the work crews whether it would be possible.
Because we voted to put it back on their maintenance budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know they've done.
I'm just cheap. I'm looking at any place we can save a couple
That's fine. They've
grand.
done programs like that, and they painted inside of schools and stuff, I
Yeah.
believe, so I mean.
It's still early in
Right.
the year, you know, maybe they picked, you know.
Okay, so there is no motion on the floor yet
So
for
moved.
Article 15. Okay, so,
Second.
okay. So the motion is to recommend $3,000 transferring from Fire Capital Improvement Fund. Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Which town meeting went this fast? Article 16, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and/or appropriate for the annual loan payment for the fire station. Payment 4 of 5 on the refinance. The Selectmen and Budget Committee recommend $39,510 being transferred from the Fire Capital Improvement Fund.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Motion carries.
Mike, were you the second on that?
Mark.
Actually, I think
Either one.
all
Yeah.
three of them said it, so,
I think so too.
yes.
So I'll pick one.
Article 17, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and/or appropriate for the annual bond payment for the Quint ladder fire truck, payment 2 of 6. Selectmen and Budget Committee recommend $33,004 transferred from the Fire Capital Improvement Fund.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
You guys are connected at the hip.
Motion carries. Article 18, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and/or appropriate for general assistance. Selectmen and Budget Committee recommend $5,000, raising $5,000.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Article 19, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and/or appropriate for the Historical Society for Restoration of the Union Church. Selectmen recommend $10,000 as of our last vote, and the Budget Committee recommends 0, raising.
Now, I'm gonna ask the same question again. My understanding at our last vote was that we had 2 remaining questions. Were they looking to appropriate from the money they already had, and/or did they have a plan? And I now understand that
No.
they're not looking to appropriate, and they still don't have a plan.
Correct.
And we have denied this in the past, given the absence of a direction forward. And so I just wondered why we were changing course, shall we say? Or do we want to change course?
Yeah, we've still not seen a plan.
Because we still don't have, they haven't even really presented, like, we have a ballpark idea that it's gonna cost this many thousands of dollars, so we just need to set aside a nest egg.
I see.
We've had no,
Seems like the norm is every year, from what I understand, they ask for 10 grand.
Well, but we haven't given it to them we haven't even put the article on the warrant for 2-3 years now.
And they have, what, 50, I think?
They have 56, somewhere around
So
there.
they have some money there, just
So-
they don't know what to spend it on.
So,
well, I think that the scope of the project, of the restoration project is, I think 56 is probably going to not get it done.
not even get close.
And so they're trying to sock away money, but I think it would be helpful to have some idea
So
of the direction.
why
in
don't we
which
do
they're
the
headed.
same thing we did with the town, one?
just leave the
Where
question.
at this point, we recommend 0 because of that, but we keep the article on the warrant.
Right, in the absence of any information about a particular plan, we're not
Okay.
recommending any funds, but that allows them to come forward and say, this is what we're hoping to do with it.
Blah, blah, blah. Yep.
Yeah. I don't think originally there was a big issue with that corner, but that has come to light, so I think that's part of it. But yeah, I don't have a problem doing it that way.
Okay, so I'll move that the selectmen recommend 0 at this point due to lack of
I
a
think
plan.
even if we had a report from somebody that's come out and looked at
Okay.
it and said the corner is collapsing.
So,
It's
I-
something other than
Seems
just
like they are
scuttlebutt.
working on something like that.
Well, they have, I mean, Ben is a
Yes.
construction, and he's looked at it, and he's had other people, he has had some people come in and say, yeah, we need to do something, but there's nothing as far as.
Nobody really knows, or nobody has formally
Right.
Yeah.
put forward a plan for what
Right.
it is we need to
So-
do.
So, the motion is that the budget committee and the selectmen will raise $0, will recommend $0, but we will leave the article on the warrant. Okay, there was a second?
Yep.
Okay. All in favor? Motion carries.
How do you want to word that?
I would just say, budget committee and selectmen, or selectmen and budget committee recommend raise, $0, raise $0.
Just leave it at that?
Yeah, and we can explain the recommendation on the floor. But that will give the Historical Society the opportunity to make a plea on the town floor.
Absolutely.
Article 20.
And I'm all for doing the restoration, I just feel like the town
Yep.
should get some explanation before they spend the money.
Article 20, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and/or appropriate for parks and recreation. The selectmen at this point recommend $11,305, transferring $11,305 from designated fund balance, $2,907 from state park fees, $8,398 from recreation fund. Okay, budget committee recommends $12,907 transferring from designated fund balance, $2,907 for state park fees, $10,000 from recreation fund.
Does that make sense?
This does not make sense. They added like $5,000 into that. Let me look at the,
That wasn't for the flags and everything, was it?
that was for the, that is in there, yes. Not the fly, but yeah, for the project over there.
Right.
I thought they just made it the even.
Let me see what I've got in here. 'Cause that, what I was picking up, they were adding about $4,500 into it.
Yeah, this one did look right to me.
I think they're that generous.
Huh?
I said, I think they're that generous.
Why-
I was
why
trying
did
to
they
figure out
offer more?
$602. What were they adding? $602.
Because they wanted to add a,
Was that the line we had added that project to, for the
More money
gazebo and
in the
everything?
recreation fund.
oh, here's the issue. So the selectmen originally recommended $8,305, no. Oh,
And then you added the 3,000.
then
for
we
the-
added a 3, so their addition wasn't as much as I thought it was, and I wonder if it was,
So they added $3,600 to it,
Mm.
basically.
no, they only, because we had already added 3,500, they actually only added $1,602. So,
So did I get it?
yes, you did, you got it, or because our original was not on the sheet I had, I thought it was $4,000 more. So there's basically,
So to answer your question, we still have another like 10,000 beyond that.
there's basically $5,000, roughly $5,000 that's supposed to go towards the
The flag project.
the flag project. I was thinking it was more, but it wasn't, so.
Do we want to, I mean, it may be too late, we all got that inquiry today from the town used to give money to the softball program. The athletic boosters made a request today. It is not timely. I understand that. Do we want to, we have the opportunity now to either say, yes, we can put some money in for the softball program, or, because there is still money in the recreation fund, or we can say, we really want to do something, come back next year.
Which,
Do you
I
think-
didn't
oh,
see
you
the
didn't-
email,
So-
I didn't.
So the email is from a Jake Webb. Hello all, I am writing on the behalf of the Athletic Booster Club of Durham. As you know, we are a volunteer-run group who run sports programs for the youth of Durham. We are a nonprofit organization that depends on registration and sponsorship money to buy new equipment. And it goes on to mention that they run the, most recently they run the Durham softball. They give the number of kids, there are 39 kids in softball. And they just recently found out that we had supported the softball in the past. And it came to our attention that the town of Durham used to allocate money to the softball program and continues to do so to Cal Ripken. My feeling is the Booster Club is more of the town recreation department than either of those have been, as they only serve one season for our children. I would like to request that the Athletic Booster Club of Durham be considered for some yearly funds in the amount of $1,500 to $2,000 to help offset equipment needs, insurance, and all other incidentals. I would also ask the town of Durham consider allocating us $5,000 this year. I understand this is a large amount, but since taking over softball, I've seen numerous things we need to address so the kids are getting an equal chance as our neighboring towns. And he goes on and it lists many of the needs.
He'd like to expand the field over here and put another ball field in.
Didn't Rod Carr used to run that? Rod Carr.
And
Rod
he wanted to
Stinson
do
used
some
run
repair to the field. Somebody did
I
donuts in the
think that-
outfield.
Cal Ripken, I think he still may do that. Cal Ripken is already, we already put money in here
Right.
for that. So he is asking for monies. It's definitely last minute, almost literally.
Yeah.
I think.
And it may be too late. It came in, we're voting on that article. I just was
Yeah, I'd kind of
asking.
like to have a little more information.
Well, he actually gave he gave what we've been asking for everybody else. He gave a very detailed information in the email of what. Yeah, sure, that would be good. But where it's so late in the process, one suggestion I would have is to say, because it's so late, we can't incorporate it
Right, 'cause
into
the budget committee
our
hasn't seen it.
suggestions. But if you would like to come to town meeting and put a motion on the floor, and make a plea for extra funds on the
Yeah.
floor.
I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
I think
not,
that
you're not
that's-
saying no to them, you're not saying
Right.
yes.
So,
Because we haven't had a chance to put it in front of the budget committee, and
Right.
it would be
So
unfair
the-
for us to.
the one question we have, do we want to go with the budget committee's recommendation on this rather than our
I would
initial?
like to. I mean, that gives an extra money for the flag.
Yeah,
And I think it's important that we address the flag issue.
Yep.
and I would really love, if the funds can be raised and are available, I'd really love to see us actually put the electrical service there so that we
Oh,
can
yeah.
get electricity to the bandstand, but.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I've always said that.
But I mean, and if there's any way possible to do that, I'd love to see that.
I would move that the selectmen adopt the budget committee's recommendation for Article 20.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Did you got the email as well, Ruth?
I did, I just printed it.
Okay, would you be able to respond back with the selectmen's, or basically our response that it came in too late, but if you would like to,
Bring it to the floor.
if you'd like to bring it to the floor, that's always an option, and see if the town would support it.
Should I let him know that there is money in the recreation fund that,
I don't know that you necessarily need to do that, but we can have that information available on the town floor
Right.
for- for when the question comes
Or
up.
he could just watch the
Me.
recording of this meeting, and he would know the answer.
And he can, I mean, if he asks you specifically, is there money in it, you can tell him. I mean, you have to tell him, pretty much, so. Okay. Article 21, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and/or appropriate for planning board appeals. The Selectmen and Budget Committee both recommend $14,190, transferring $750 from designated fund balance, planning and appeals applications, and raising $13,440.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. Article 22, to see if the town will vote to appropriate from undesignated fund balance $1,297.66 to add to the 2014 Planning Board Appeals budget to fund unanticipated expenses due to workshops for ordinance review and training.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Do you want to put one of those
Yeah.
right after the Parks and Rec for the $12?
Yeah, typically these are, in the past, we haven't done them in several years. Typically, these are the first articles that we get to.
We can move them.
Jeff, the rec committee made no recommendations.
There was no recommendation on that. This is an over expenditure last year on that line. It's called a supplemental, a supplemental budget article, basically, to make up the difference from last year. So, I think I'd like, I mean, unless the other selectmen like them right next to the regular warrant article, getting them out of the way, and then you have your year's warrants articles. It gives you can explain it right away and get it done
Yeah,
with.
it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just renumber.
And do you want me to make one? You want me to make one for the?
Yeah, so the other one would be to see if the town will vote to appropriate from undesignated fund balance $12 to add to the 2014 Parks and Recreation budget to fund unanticipated expenses.
Okay, I'm lost a little bit here now. 'Cause I don't have that.
No, it's not on here.
If they won't, can we
We
all
needed
kick
a
in
second
$2?
one. This is another
Is it gonna be a
supplemental.
different article?
This would be a different article, so,
What number would it be?
well, so.
Are they gonna be at the end?
No, they're gonna be at the beginning. So the first one would be Article 4. The second one would be Article 5. And then all the other articles would shift down in accordance. So let me see, 4, 5. I'm gonna actually do these so when I make the motions on the other 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19,
Is it exactly $12 on the Parks and Rec?
2.
I think it was.
That's what I saw on it, yeah. With
Yeah.
23, 24.
So the 1,200 will be article number 24, or that will turn into number 1? Or,
So, Article 22 turns into number 4.
article 22, okay.
Article 5 is the new addition for the $12 for
2014 Parks and Recreation.
2014 Parks and Recreation, and we actually need a motion on that.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Do we want to put a reason for that one, or just leave it?
I'm not I don't know what the reason is right off. It was,
So we'll just end with Parks and Rec
yeah,
budget.
yeah.
So that's a separate article for $12,
Yes.
$12
Yes.
to be applied to 2014's deficit.
2014's Park and Recreation budget.
We spent 2 hours discussing that $12.
Yeah. That's why I put the bigger one first. They can do the discussing on that one more. So then Articles 5, what's printed on here, Article 5 through 21 will each be increased by 2. So, Article 20, what was 23? Article 24.
Was 23.
Yeah. To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and or appropriate for public works, the selectmen recommend $1,037,700 let me try this again. $1,037,798. Okay, transferring $785,314 from designated fund balance, 53,364 of that URIP, and 731,950 of that auto excise, and raising $252,484.
So moved.
And the budget committee has their recommendation, which they've already voted on, so
Second.
it's been moved and seconded.
And the
So-
budget committee made no recommendation?
No, the budget committee their recommendation is here, $1,027,198. So, one thing, when we were discussing this, I had mentioned, and I actually included that in my numbers that I brought over,
Right.
that we could probably cut 6,000 out of the road commissioner between the salary and the other lines. We could cut about $6,000 out of that. So I would, because I said that and stuff like that, I would think that we probably should cut that money. But the motion on the floor right now is as written.
Right.
Any discussion? All in favor on the motion on the floor? All opposed? Okay, motion fails. I will make a new motion that the selectmen recommend $1,031,798, transferring the $785,314 from the designated fund balance as before, and raising $246,484.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Article 24, to see if the town will vote to create a Public Works Capital Reserve Fund.
Which is now 25.
Yes, thank you, which is now 25, thank you. And appropriate all unexpended Public Works operating funds as of year end to annually be transferred into the Public Works Capital Reserve Fund.
Now, as a procedural question, because this was proposed by a member of the budget committee, it can just automatically become a warrant article?
We're still in charge of the warrant articles, but I would,
I didn't know if there was a more formal process for something to become a
they,
warrant article, that was all.
basically that was their recommendation to us, that we put it on as a warrant article.
Okay.
And if Article 25, this Article 25 passes, from here on out, any surplus in the Public Works Department would go into a capital reserve fund.
Right, I would,
And I would put in this was recommended by was it a vote of the Budget Committee that actually recommended it?
it
Did
was.
they had it? Okay. So
I would like it to be more discretionary, so that if they have, a year like well, obviously this year they have no capital fund, so we're starting out, so the whole 96,000. But if they had another year where they were turning in almost $100,000 in unused funds, I'd like the selectmen to have the discretion to say, okay, we're gonna put 50,000 or whatever the number is towards
Or-
capital, and we're gonna put 50,000 to other things.
or the town to have that
The
discretion.
well, yes, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
the town.
So that every year,
For there to be that discretion.
yeah, every year they get to have the discussion on what to do with it.
Right, that it's not just, once it goes in,
Yeah.
Thought that's how it ended up.
I thought you wanted to put all the capital reserves into one.
Well, eventually,
Eventually, yeah.
and we've been wanting to do that too. It's a matter of trying to figure out how to do it, because we're already so far down the road the way we are.
right, and if we, and I view this as making it more difficult, because we're gonna be creating another separate, it's
Yeah.
our money, we saved it, we didn't spend it last year, get your paws off of it,
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
account.
Well,
It'll all be going towards roads when it's
I mean,
done,
it's
so-
all going to public works equipment, absolutely.
So,
And that, to your point, I guess, I don't know how far down the road we are with all the other ones, but why couldn't that be the beginning of it right now?
Well, no, I think it's great to take that 96,000,
Oh, yeah,
put in,
agreed.
I didn't know if
so,
we
right
wanted
now,
to maintain some,
we're probably gonna be using up that whole, Public Works Capital
Yeah.
Reserve next year for a new truck. And so, they'll be back down to zero, as long as it doesn't build up too high initially. Transferring that over and fixing that up with a town-wide one won't be as difficult as the other.
it just was a, if we wanted to, just a discussion
So-
about whether or not we wanted
so-
to
so
have
the-
more discretion, have more control over it.
Can we, so I would put in there that the Budget Committee recommends that article.
Yep.
And I will take a motion from the selectmen whether to recommend this article or not.
So moved.
Are you recommending it?
Yes.
You're recommending it, okay. Is there a second?
I guess I'm still up in the air here. I mean, don't we, I mean,
I want this money to go in, it's like,
No,
it's
no,
not
so,
that
so that's separate on Article 26, that's a separate article.
oh, okay.
Right.
This one here is just saying going forward.
I'll second it.
Okay, so, right now, the motion on the floor is to recommend Article 26, which would, Article 25, which going forward would transfer all unexpended Public Works operating funds into a Public Works capital
so we would
reserve fund.
prefer to have all, they're separate, we would prefer them to have a separate capital reserve?
Well, that was, that's interesting. I think we need if we don't recommend this, we need a competing article.
Or I could split it.
Yes, that would be a good, split it so that we create the capital,
There you go.
the capital reserve fund, and then have the actual, whether to annually transfer.
Right.
Actually, what's now 26 is actually more in line with what I think we discussed. But this year.
Yes,
putting that
yes, this, because it wasn't in place last year, we have to have that one.
Right, yeah.
So,
So if Article 24, or actually 25, gets voted in, then it makes it more difficult for us down the road to put all the capital reserves under one umbrella, is that correct?
yes,
And is
but,
that what we
so-
want, or is that, I mean,
so first off, I think we may want to
Split it.
split the articles. So the first one will be to see if the town will vote to create a Public Works Capital Reserve Fund.
Yes.
And the Budget Committee definitely recommended that.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
So that would be Article 25 now.
That's right.
So,
I gotta change these numbers, I'm getting
Yeah.
confused here.
so that,
That's 25.
I'll reprint it with the right numbers.
Yeah,
So-
tonight I just need to make sure I got the right numbers changed.
so 25 stops after the word fund.
Yep.
Okay, yes.
All right.
And, would you want to withdraw your previous
Yes, I
motions
will,
and
yeah.
second? Okay, and I'll entertain new motions and seconds.
Now let's make sure we know what this means now.
So Article 25 would be to see if the town will vote to create a Public Works Capital Reserve Fund. Because we actually have to have the fund to be
Create the
able to put
fund.
money in.
Right. So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, unless there's,
if that's what we want, then I'll go for it, I just,
well,
the
we
last
gotta
discussion I
do
remember
the,
was
we
that
gotta
we
do it,
wanted-
we're not ready to do the other, we've gotta set money aside.
That's fine.
So,
That's fine.
we're not ready to
We gotta
pull,
make
the-
funds to pool together.
yeah, we're not ready to pull the trigger on the town-wide one yet.
All right.
We definitely, I think that's the better thing to do, but I think we'll have to do is sit down and see how far
But
down the road we
this,
are.
this 96,000 will probably be gone next year when we ask for a new truck.
Yeah.
No, I hear you,
Yeah.
all right.
All right, all in favor of Article 25? Motion carries. Article 26 will be to see if the town will appropriate all unexpended Public Works operating funds as of year end to annually be transferred into the Public Works Capital Reserve Fund.
That'll be 26.
That would be 26.
Now,
I
yeah.
can read my numbers again.
So
All
moved.
right, could you repeat what you Said just by the street.
To see if the town will vote to appropriate all unexpended public works operating funds as of year end to annually be transferred into the Public Works Capital Reserve Fund.
Does that make sense?
Not
I would
really.
say to automatically appropriate all unexpended, because it's not even, it doesn't even come up for, with the fire department, it doesn't
Okay.
even come up for discussion or vote, it's
So,
just they automatically go.
I'm gonna even reword it more than that, because it's not appropriating, it's transferring.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
To see if, okay, let's see if we can do this slowly so you can get it too. So, to see if the town will vote to transfer all unexpended public works operating funds each year into the Public Works Capital Reserve Fund. Does that sound right?
Annually is good.
Unexpended.
Well, because
To see if the
See if the town will vote
town
to
will
automatically.
vote to automatically transfer all unexpended public works operating funds as of year end into the Public Works Capital Reserve Fund.
Yes.
what about as of each year end?
Well, automatically, I think
Yeah,
covers
okay,
it, is
okay.
that it
Yeah.
just
Yep.
every year
Yep.
end, they
Yep.
go.
I like how that sounds.
Okay,
So moved.
and
Second.
we'll wait for you to finish
Okay,
adding
so-
it in and read it back.
So what I have is to see if the town will vote to automatically transfer all unexpended public works operating funds as of year end into the Public Works Capital Reserve Fund.
Sounds,
Yep.
sounds good, and the Budget Committee recommends that, and I will take a motion on this from the selectmen, whether to recommend or not recommend.
We already did.
Yeah.
It's already been moved and seconded.
Oh, it has, okay, good. All right, so it's been moved and second to recommend this?
Yes.
Okay, any further discussion?
Who was the mover and who was the seconder?
I moved it. I seconded.
Okay, all in favor of the motion? Opposed? Motion passes. All right, Article 27 now. To see if the town will vote to appropriate all excess public works roads operating budget funds from the calendar year 2014 and transfer these funds into the newly created Public Works Capital Reserve Fund. And
Where'd you get all them words?
Right there, 20, this one.
20, the new 27, it was
New
25.
Oh, the new 27.
You caught up in your numbers
I
again.
think it's
You gotta
28
erase
now.
them.
I don't know,
Well,
my
I thought the
numbering
new
seems to be off.
27 was down here.
Nope, it's 27. Used to be 25 at one time.
Old
Oh, we
25.
moved it by 2. Okay.
Yeah, see, we split this one. Guess what we split?
Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know, I'm running out of time.
so this is
I'll go back and fix my
the
numbers
new
later.
27.
Yep.
Keep going.
All right,
You renumbered all the way down again.
so that means that's gonna be an 8.
Okay.
So,
So, and it says the Budget Committee and Selectmen recommend $96,466. The Budget Committee, the Selectmen have not actually voted on this yet. So, but I will take a motion on this
Yeah, actually, it was those budget.
Why do we even have money
Yeah.
left over?
That's when-
because there was,
And everyone
spend all
thought
of it.
I was crazy to reduce that budget by $100,000,
A lot-
and the budget committee put it back to
Some
me
of-
and spend it anyway.
well, some of it was on labor, that we actually underexpended labor, and some of it was salt, actually. We didn't have to get as much salt, so, and I think those were the two major ones. So, is there a motion on this?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Yeah. 26 is now the 28.
Yes.
Okay.
To see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and appropriate for the annual bond payment of the Public Works Equipment Bond. And this would be payment 1 of 10. Selectmen and Budget Committee recommend $141,524.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. 29, same only for the Public Works Building Bond. And Budget Committee and Selectmen recommend $91,120, raising it all.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. Article 28, to see what,
Just now,
Article 30.
There you go, huh?
28 is now 30, right?
Yes.
All right.
Article 30, to see what sum of money the town will appropriate to vote to raise and appropriate for the solid waste. Selectmen and Budget Committee recommend $191,825, transferring $14,308 from the designated fund balance solid waste tags, and raising $177,517.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Motion carries. Article 31, to see what sum of money the town will vote to raise and/or appropriate for telecommunications. The Selectmen and Budget Committee both recommend $28,659, transferring it all from franchise fees of the designated fund.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Article 30.
Now, that's got different colors because it's different wording. It's the same article worded differently, and the second one you gotta put in Durham for the new thing, because I didn't change. Does it make sense to you, Jeff?
It's actually 32, right?
Yes, this is 32.
It's 32.
So there are 3 different wordings for this?
Yes, there's a green one, a blue one, and then there's the regular one. And there's 3 different wordings, and whichever one you prefer, I thought we'd go with.
I prefer the New Portland one.
I know.
No.
We would change New Portland to Durham, obviously.
See if the town will vote to increase the amount in the event the municipal. See if the town
They're pretty close, actually. Actually, they're almost exactly.
Does anybody have a preference of one over the other?
No.
Then I would move that we accept the one that we typically use, this is the one in white.
I was going to say that's, yeah.
They're all new.
They're all new, this is,
The one that you typically use has the amount in it, and I don't know what the amount is, so I got rid of that. Me and Donna talked about it. She said that there was no reason.
okay, so, but is the first one the one that we
It's a-
typically use without the amounts in it?
It's as close to the,
Okay, so I'll still move for the white one.
I second it.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. I will not read the whole ordinance, but to see if the town will vote to amend the Town of Durham Historic District Ordinance to add to the Historic District Commission membership 2 associate members. The ordinance will now read, yes. And that will be actually 33. Okay, it's been moved. Did somebody second?
Second.
Yeah.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Article 34. To see if the town will vote to accept as Townways Sand Hill Drive Phase 2 as associated with the subdivision plan of Sylvester Woods. Do we need the plural on Townways? Because we're only, as a townway, maybe?
sure.
Yep.
Is this,
I thought we weren't accepting any more towns.
This is in the growth district, so it is,
this may be one of the old ones?
no, this is in the growth district. We are allowed to accept roads in the the Southwest Bend Growth District, but we don't have to approve them. So we've inspected and approved that it's up to code and so on, and now it's up to the town to decide whether to accept
Actually,
it.
it's the town that's going to make that final
Yes.
decision.
Right. I think it'll be us.
So we'll accept the article as written.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's been moved.
it's been moved with somebody.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Before we get down to because the rest of them are pretty much housekeeping articles. We still have the petition out there, and whether to add an article in regards to the petition. We do have an opinion from the lawyer. You should have had it in your,
I've
in
read
your
that.
stuff.
Right there, yep.
And so it is, I will leave it up to the board whether we put an article out onto this town meeting warrant.
Let me read Just so-
if we don't put it on this one, I would suggest that we come back at a regular selectmen's meeting and officially determine whether we will put it out for a vote or not at all, so that there is a clear feeling, there's a clear direction from the board which way we're going, and that the petitioners know what that direction is, so.
I feel like the town should vote on it, but I feel like there should be a public hearing involved.
That's what the town
Because-
meeting will be, right?
Because, I mean, but that's, you know, I mean, this could be a whole town meeting by itself, you know, the discussion that could ensue from it, you know.
Well, and I think that the legal opinion that we have makes a very good point about the vagueness of it,
Right.
that there are substantial unanswered questions about what happens with a money article.
What happens when something
if-
gets voted down, you know, we
if
go through the whole
all of a
process all over
sudden,
again,
we're
you know.
in June and we have $0 on, you know, that somebody doesn't accept either the selectmen's budget, or somebody writes in a number and then that doesn't get voted on by everybody. Because of the nature of what we're voting on, I have concerns about how that process
Well,
would
this,
work.
to me, was no different than the articles you have here, you know, you've got them all yes or no, and that's what you'd have down on your
But what
ballot.
happened, like, we
What
talked
if one
about
gets
two
voted
different
down?
articles.
Which I understand that, I mean,
But
that's,
we've talked about two different articles tonight that neither the selectmen nor the budget committee have a specific dollar value recommendation. But we're putting it out there so people can make a suggestion on town floor. So people would just be making suggestions
I
in the
think that
ballot
they got,
booth?
and the majority would win, I mean, if they go in and put $1, then the majority of $1 win, if everybody votes on the floor and puts down 500 hands come up for one.
Right, but you
get more
could
than that.
get 1,000 different,
Yeah, that's, the problem I have with that is, I want the people to have their say, and I wanna hear what they got to say, but at the same time, the selectmen really need to be responsible in the way that
So,
there's a number attached to it and there's a definite answer, because you can't just go off in the wind with whatever you assume could be a budget. And if to Sarah's point, if the budget ends up being $1 and you really need to spend 50,000 and nobody's really talked about what that means,
Right.
you're in trouble.
so there,
and some of these warrants are specific to contracts that the town has entered into, the solid waste.
Yeah.
That's a contracted amount that we're bound to pay, and if that's just a, should we spend, whatever it is, $191,825 on solid waste, and people are in the ballot booth and they haven't been to town meeting or anything, and they say, oh no, that's too much money for trash pickup,
I don't think they'd,
we can't pay our contracted.
so,
I understand what you're saying, I don't think they really care about the money amount as much as they want to have their own, have their right to vote. And a lot of them are saying that the town day does not work for them. And they wanna be able to go during the day, you know, 7 to 3 or 7 to 7 or whatever, to come in and vote. And that's all, not if they wanna argue about the money wise and the amount wise, they wanna be able to vote to have their say.
but this is all about the money.
Yeah, it is
It's
about
it's
the money.
it's absolutely all about the money and how it's determined what we're allowed to spend. So Ruth had done some research too, and I believe it's the town of Mexico has some sort of process. The one thing town of Mexico has that Durham doesn't is a town charter. The way theirs is written, I'm not sure that they actually have a town meeting per se. But the articles are put out to a referendum vote. If the article is more money than last year and the article is voted down, the town is allowed to spend up to the budget from the previous year. They are also allowed to put it out one more time. They were allowed to put it out twice. So if one amount got put down, they could try putting it out one more time. So that's a possibility.
I'm not adverse to floating the idea out for the town, but I think it needs to be fleshed out more. I think that as written, there's too many unanswered questions. If there was some explanations about how the process would work, if an amount was voted down, or all of those unanswered questions, then I think that people would be in a better place to make an informed decision on it, but I think the way that it's written now, would it be, so town meeting happens, there's a floor vote that says yes to the budget committee's number, for example. And then 30 days or 45 days later, there's another vote that may say yes to the selectmen's number. And then how does that get reconciled? Are we amending the vote on town floor? Are we replacing the vote on town floor?
I mean, that's it too.
Are we not taking votes on town floor
And that's what you
anymore?
that's what you should bring up to the town, on the town floor and ask the town people what they wanna do.
I mean,
Because
those are-
If
right,
we're gonna,
those
if we're
are
gonna
just-
do this, then the people at the town floor are just
I-
wasting their day.
That I disagree with. I think we need to have that hand, which is why a public hearing before you make any votes on this would be a better idea. We need to have these things hammered out before we put a vote out. That what we were given as a petition was extremely vague and impossible to enforce. There's nothing there. Whatever we put out there would have to be much more structured than what we have. Also, would have to be understood from understanding with talking with MMA that this would be basically a suggestion, because the Board of Selectmen, without a town charter, the Board of Selectmen have the authority to determine how the town votes. Not the way they vote, but the method of voting.
Right.
And because we don't have a town charter.
Right, no, I didn't mean put it out, I just meant, I'm all for a discussion about how to get more
Right.
people involved in the
Absolutely.
process and how to get more people's input. I think that's,
You know, maybe that's how it goes,
Really
is maybe we
important.
get rid of.
but how do we, and maybe we don't take a vote, but maybe we have a discussion at town floor saying, there has been a petition floated, there's still a lot of unanswered questions, these are some of the issues that have come up, what are people's thoughts on it? And at
So
least
how
get some-
about this then? Because to be able to discuss something on the town floor, you really are supposed to have an article. What if we put an article out there to see if the town would like to explore other options besides town meeting for determining the budget of the town?
That could be the question right there.
Yeah.
That
That
could
would
be,
give, open up
do
to a
you,
public meeting.
So
Right.
that gives us clear indication from the floor whether they want to explore other options. Then we can explore them, and we can have public hearings. Maybe I would really hope that people that put the petition out would show up here and kind of explain how they were thinking it could work. Because the one person I talked to told me, you decide. It's up to you to determine. And that's really kind of unfair. If you're putting a petition out there, you should have an idea of how you want it
Right.
to work.
No, I agree with them.
And it's not, that was what I was gonna say, and even I was gonna say, is there an opportunity to take some kind of, just a straw poll vote on the town floor? But your idea's probably
that's,
better.
yeah, I
Well,
think,
basically, that's what we're doing,
Yeah.
so.
So,
you know.
I mean, we can bring the petition that was signed to the town floor and say, this is what was presented to the Board of Selectmen. And we would like to see if does the town want us to,
It's basically a straw poll
Explore it.
vote to see if they wanna actually
Yeah.
look at that. And then we
And-
could have some
Yeah.
meetings, public meetings on it.
Yeah.
And get
we
some
could
discussion.
we could set up a committee to look at options, how it could be done.
The only thing just to keep in mind is that the people that are asking for this petition are the people that are saying that they can't make it to town meetings if we're having a vote on.
It's-
That's the way it
that's-
rolls, that's the way it goes.
It is
Absolutely.
the way that we do business right now.
Absolutely, and I
And
think that having a town-wide discussion on how best to proceed makes
Yeah.
the most sense.
So-
I think you're gonna find the same result in the end. Cause it's one day a year, every year Christmas is coming on the same day, every year the town meeting's coming on the same day. And
What article's that
what
gonna be,
happens
Joe?
if it's that important to you, you're gonna make the point to be there.
what was that?
What article are you gonna make this?
So this will be Article
I've
35.
already numbered them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna be Article what?
Article 35, and did you get the wording I had, or do I need to save
I
you?
have to see if the town will.
To see if the town will authorize the selectmen to look into other means,
Exploration.
exploration of other means of voting in the town budget.
So
And-
now, the old 35, which was the new 35, is now 36?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so see if the town will authorize the selectmen to explore other means of voting in the town budget.
Does that,
That seems, yep.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right,
Second that.
moved and seconded, and if we could, at least let the
Petitioner?
petitioner, the one that turned in a petitioner, know that this is the action we're taking at this point, and that it will be on the warrant, so that that person and others that signed can show up if they desire.
And I feel better about doing it that way and having a discussion. They did the work, they got the signatures. I didn't wanna just not put
Well,
it on.
And that's it, is, I mean, we need to have
But
more
I
than
wanna
100
have-
people deciding on a $4.5 million budget, you know?
Well, you'd like to have, but
Yeah.
it seems to not be that way.
So, I mean, maybe this replaces town meeting, you know, but with that is we need to have a method in place for
If-
what happens if an article gets voted down. I mean, we just went through the budget process. We know what's gonna happen if any of those lines don't get funded.
For this
So-
to completely work, we're gonna need to go to a town charter.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and then everything would be spelled out in the town charter, exactly how it would work.
Right.
And
'Cause
so,
my fear of doing it that way without a lot of research is people are gonna be voting on something without having
Right.
information. And that's where the
That's
information
been
comes
my
in.
fear about the whole thing.
all right,
Yep.
so, if it would please the board, I would like to take articles, the new Article 36 up through 45. These are housekeeping articles,
Yeah.
and vote them in all at once.
I moved
So
it.
moved.
Beat me to the punch. Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Are there any discussion? All in favor? Opposed, motion carries. There wasn't anything else that we needed to do tonight? This was the only thing?
Well, the only thing is I wanted to ask you guys about the animal control article.
Okay,
We can do that in a second.
yep.
So let me print you guys all up a new copy so you can look it over and see where we are and if
You mean, you mean what you're gonna put in the paper?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, because I got a quote back,
Yeah, you told me.
on what I had written, yeah, and it was over $300. So what I would like to do is, hold on, let me,
Who's Sun Journal?
yes,
That's outrageous. what they get.
Unreal.
Yeah, advertising prices are crazy.
We
So-
put one little ad this big in for one day, it cost us $136.
Unreal.
yeah, so, let's see here.
Put it on Go
I
Ahead.
wanted to cut it down to, let's see here.
Dog catcher wanted. I know I had that thought. Let's see, we could do, Town of Durham is seeking qualified applicants for part-time position of animal control officer. Complete job description and employment application are available on the web at the town office or by calling blah, blah, blah. Completed applications must be submitted by no later than 4:30 PM on March 20th. They can call, I mean, the phone number's
Yeah,
there.
that's-
That sounds,
Yeah.
Say,
How
I
much
would
does
just
that
say,
save us? Can we shorten up more?
As much as you guys
the
want to
town
try.
of Durham is seeking applicants
TOD.
for animal control officer.
Officer.
More information
Please call
available
blah,
at,
blah.
or
Yeah.
for more information.
Seeking, okay, yes. Okay, so the town of Durham is seeking, do we even want qualified applicants? Just
Oh,
applicants?
Applicant.
Yeah, I think they really do. I think
Well, we're not- we-
So,
well,
yeah,
because
yes.
Our description says they ain't gonna be qualified. You got
yes,
6
we
months before
we
you
want
qualify.
qualified applicants, but no, we may not want the word qualified in the end.
Town of Durham is
Okay, we
seeking
can pick out the
applicants
qualified ones, okay, I'll go along.
for animal control officer.
Town of Durham seeks animal control officer.
We can do that if
And
we
as
More
want.
long-
information.
So I wonder, as long as our application notes that we're equal opportunity employer, does that cover us? I have a because I see this in every ad,
Yeah, equal opportunity lawyer.
and I just don't know whether we have to have
You
that.
just write EEO.
Yes, you can, equal, EEO employer, equal opportunity,
EOE.
EOE, excuse me.
EO,
I see it all the time in the papers, so
Yeah.
that's acceptable.
Durham is an
We still
EOE,
don't
yeah.
need 207, because if they're not in state, we don't want them. Extension 10.
Oh, no, even never.
And we don't probably even need to have the date, because this will only run for 2 Sundays.
Do we want to extend the date any further where we're a little bit later getting
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe because we're later getting it in than we thought.
put it out 7 days?
Yeah.
Well, we've already gotten a couple of,
Do we?
Did we
Oh.
put the whole
Oh.
listing on MMA?
Okay, so it's been out in other places.
on
I'm
MMA.
excited.
Okay, so it's been out on other places, so the date probably is okay then.
We got a couple applicants already in?
I have one that's interested. He wanted me to answer a couple questions for him, but he seemed like
Awesome.
an interesting applicant, and I still haven't called the guy from Pownell yet, just
I
to let
did.
him know. You did? Okay. Okay, then I won't. So Town of Durham seeks animal control officer. For more information, call 353-2561 extension 10. Or should I put email too?
With your cell phone.
No way.
Yeah, or an email.
And then
EOE.
EOE?
Equal
Yeah,
opportunity
equal
employer.
opportunity
Oh,
employer.
we have to put that on there, not, but.
Just EOE.
Durham is an EOE.
It just covers you.
Can we just write EOE?
EOE is good, yeah.
EIEIO.
It is animal control, I mean, there could be a
Okay,
farm
yeah.
involved.
The town of the town of Durham seeks animal control officer. For more info, call our number, my extension, EOE.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
That should cut it down to like $50, hopefully.
Okay.
Super.
Better than 300 and something, for sure.
I mean,
Well, they told me that.
that'll blow our budget completely.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Okay, so let me go get my
Move to
printed.
Well,
I mean,
she's grabbing the, if you want to
Tentative
glance through the warrant
I'll be
before we
nice
leave.
to them people.
That's right.
I gotta figure out how to get rid of that first page thing.
What, first page say?
You'll see it in a second. Okay. So that's as. Thank you. And you guys should peruse this and make sure I didn't mess the thing up, and check my numbers too, because my numbers kept changing.
Yeah, the numbers
You didn't
are
think I was there?
subject to change, yeah.
This looks like,
Right, I think.
like you have edits on.
Is that what it
Yeah, I was
is?
gonna say hide comments
Do you,
or.
do you
Yeah.
know how to fix that?
It's strange that it's only on the first page, but
Okay. So 5 is when we changed that. 6 was that.
There you go. Thank you.
Six is now, no, 5 is now 7, okay. Okay, 6 is here, all right, I'm catching up here now. Making sure.
Snow's here.
Is it?
it's supposed to get like 4
It's supposed to
inches.
be a little bit better.
4 to 6, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Last night I heard blizzard for the weekend, but then this morning they said mostly cloudy, so I don't know.
A mostly cloudy blizzard.
That was just Sean whispering. Going blizzard, I don't work there anymore.
Yeah,
Blizzard.
It was nice up there.
rubbing it in for us.
These trails around here are nice. And I
Yeah.
ran into
Is he coming to town
the
meeting?
dog over there by, remember?
Does he get out of that?
Trail they shut down.
He gets out of it.
Oh, yeah.
That's not fair, that's not fair.
Listen,
It-
it's out on the end of the trail, take it easy.
Yeah.
It looks okay to me.
If I don't get voted in, I'm not coming either.
You want me to print out a clean copy for you guys to sign?
Yeah, oh, they were all over the place.
Yes,
That was
please.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause-
I know someone's running.
did this have the signature place?
I didn't
No
print
biggie.
the signature page out.
Okay, so
You can
yes.
have it if he
On its
gets
own
it.
page.
So is that correct? We ended up with 46?
46, yes.
I got 45. How'd that happen?
I don't even wanna try my own count.
Because
35,
35,
36?
so we added one in here.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, that's why. So,
Yet it when it's split one.
I should have had a 46 there though, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as that's
So
correct.
she's coming with the warrant to sign, and then, so you can go ahead and make the motion if you want.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
Yeah, let's discuss
Let's
that.
discuss that.
You know,
Hey, wait a minute,
Tell
she's
you
gotta
what.
turn off,
yes,
then she's doing something else,
Right.
so.
you know, I'd really like to sit here all night and,
You would?
Yeah.
Ash over.
yeah.
Well, if you're gonna do that, I'm gonna leave the TV on so I can keep checking, see if you're still here.
We should do like a football
What's
team,
that
and we'll go
called?
over past meetings and.
Isn't that called a
Spy.
filibuster?
Or spying.
Oh, no, I think you spade all night, that filibuster.
right, yeah. I'll open up a phone book and start reading from it or something. We are
We're
adjourned.
adjourned.
Just have to wait to sign.
So no mittens for you yet, Mark. It's a sweater. I think these would be too big
Every time I
for
see that
mittens.
kid wearing them, I say,